here we go again. We are already 1 month on the road, about 3,000 miles since we started from the Valley of the Sun in Arizona. We are finally crossing the bridge to UP. The locals call it UP, Upper Peninsula. Well, a few interesting facts about the state we learn about. First of all, the Upper Peninsula, UP, is the landmass which is bounded by Lake Superior in the north, Lake Michigan and Lake Huron in the south, St. Mary's River in the east, and Wisconsin in the west. Michigan eventually became the 26th state of the Union on the 26th of January 1837. Interesting coincidence. The Upper Peninsula contains 29% of the land area of Michigan, but only 3% of its total population. Michigan is known for fishing, thanks to its 3,288 miles coastline, the longest freshwater coastline in the United States. Forestry is another important industry. It's 90% of the Upper Peninsula is covered in trees. Michigan is the only one of the states to be split in 2 large land segments. Anywhere you stand in the state, you are no more than 85 miles from Great Lake.
So we just crossed Mackinac Bridge, and I think it's 1958 when it was built. Really long. We had to pay $10 to go across it because we have dual axle on the motorhome.
We have 2 axles.
You have 2. So yes, it's pretty scary going across, but yeah, so we're just checking it out. So we just found out, by the way, because the whole point of coming over across the Mackinac Bridge is to go to the Mackinac Island. And we were all excited because we have our bikes, our electric bikes, but unfortunately they do not allow electric bikes over on the island. So that means in order for us to explore the island, we would need to rent bikes. And after checking a website, I think the cheapest, how much was it?
$12 per hour.
Yeah, like $12 per hour, or for half a day, like $50, or the full day just under $100 each. So that's really disappointing. But yeah, keep on working on that. Otherwise, we'll be doing a lot of walking. And yeah, the ferry going over there for a return was $27. But we'd have to leave the motorhome somewhere parking up, so that would be another cost. But I mean, how often do you come to the Mackinac, or however you say it?
Mackinac.
Island, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
I'll come and take a picture.
Might be a couple minutes.
Good morning. Okay, we are way behind because we have not put Indiana on our map. So here goes. Now we drove through some of Indiana to get to Michigan, where we are now. We were in the Indiana Dunes and at my son's in-laws for time over at Ogden Dunes as well. And now we're actually Well, for the last 4 or 5 days, we've been in Michigan, and we're actually up at the northern Upper Peninsula right now. We are, I don't know, a few miles from the Mackinac Bridge, and hopefully before we leave this area we'll go over to Mackinac Island and check out the area over there. So in order for us to get to where we are right now, we actually crossed the Mackinac Bridge, which is a really long suspension bridge, and somewhere over here is at Mackinac Island, and in order to cross it we have to go on a ferry. So hopefully we'll get to do that before we head off west and make our way slowly, I guess, through the upper part of Wisconsin, Minnesota, is that Minnesota? North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and then down wherever Yellowstone is, around here somewhere. So yeah, it's happening. It's now July 3rd. We're actually at a casino parking lot. We had RV hookups for 2 nights. Kewadin Casino. We've just moved out of that area. We're now parked along the parking lot, and hopefully we can do some exploring, and we are trying to get updated with our videos, and we're so far behind, but offer us grace. Could be Canada over there, right?
No, Japan.
I think not. I am attempting to...
We are working in the office today.
We are working in the office today, and I am attempting to make my first video, and I've been working on the same one probably for like 10 hours in total, and I still can't get this thing right, and hubby has been very patient and trying to explain to me, but I guess, you know, practice makes perfect. I'll have a few grey hairs to go with it at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so we thought we would just show you what we do. We're going to start packing up the house, heading out. It's laundry day. So the first thing I always do...
How many laundries did you do before?
So it's actually the first time we were going to the laundromat, because once a week we do the washing, and the last 2 occasions since we've been on the road, we've been at friends or families places. So we don't have a special hinge.
Our automatic.
Here, so good old bungees serve the purpose.
And look at this inside. We have what is it?
Yeah, we got the silver insulation reflector to keep it cooler. Jack put a little hook on top, so that's why it hooks in up there. So this is usually the first thing I do, close these up. And because we...
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm holding the camera.
Because you have to think, okay, what's going to tip when we're traveling? So the kettle goes over there. As you see, we only have one slide out.
The glass.
Wait a minute, we only have one slide out. We could put both, but we found that one is sufficient. So that means this part of the house is going to come in, so we have to make sure all of this is out the way. And like I said, this is not garbage, this is clothing, dirty clothing.
What are you doing, woman?
We got some whites, we got some darks.
Fighting with some manure or what?
And this is garbage. So we're going to move this out the way. We make sure when all this stuff is here, we take that off because it slips down, and we've done that a couple of times and we haven't been able to close up properly. So that's what we do.
And what is here?
Okay, we actually have our drinking water. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Which we are
It would be good if there's water.
nearly out of. So that is a checklist from here. Obviously the curtains go back. Anything in the front seat starts coming forward. We always put the screen up on that's already gone.
What about the garbage?
That comes over because the slide will come in. We close up the windows. So we make sure all our windows are closed before we start traveling. When it's warm, we bring down the shades to keep it cooler in here. So we've learned the hard way when we were traveling, especially in Arizona, and doing a lot of boondocking out where there's lots of dust and sand and stuff. We made the mistake of keeping all the vents and the windows open. And needless to say, we had about this much dust everywhere. So depending on where we travel, we will close up the vents.
How?
Literally by...
No.
Okay, so...
Pillow.
Okay. We close up the vents this way.
Why? Because this doesn't work.
It doesn't work? You can't close it?
No, you can close it.
Okay.
Okay, you can try it here. But because you see it doesn't go, because I bought the wrong cover.
So we block it off. We make sure we put our computers away so it doesn't go flying everywhere. So kind of like, that's about it in here. We make sure, of course, the shower door is closed, the bedroom door is closed, otherwise that will start swinging open. And
Shower door is open.
yeah, which has been repaired.
Oh yeah.
So we just make sure we just close it there and we lock it here. And our bedroom looks like a bomb's hit it because we're going to wash all the bedding.
So why is the hat here?
Oh, the hat. Because this light bothers us at night. And why is those socks there, love?
Because when we are hooked up to the
Electric.
the little light,
Yeah.
it's so bright.
The blue light comes on. So really doesn't take very long.
All right, slide in.
Yeah.
We're going kitchen. And here we go.
Hope we don't get too claustrophobic.
We made it.
Just enough to walk through. As you can see, not much room. So we may have mentioned in the past,
But there was more room.
we had, you may have seen pictures in the past when we had this jackknife sofa, and it was old. Jack recovered it and did an amazing job, but just so uncomfortable. So we ended up before this trip getting 2 recliners. We're trying to keep them clean, hence these blankets. Yeah, it's really good because otherwise everyone's sitting at the dining room area uncomfortable.
So why do you have 2 recliners instead of one big one?
I don't know. Why do we have 2 recliners?
Because in the beginning the idea was that I'm traveling by myself.
That is true.
And then my darling said,
I'm
going
coming with
you.
you. Which has worked out wonderful because just having that one slide out, or even when we're driving, just coming back here, yeah, there's not much room, and as you can see, I can hardly get through, but I have to position myself just right, and then I can get up. And you see, it's comfortable.
Mackinac Island. Mackinac Island.